Alrighty, it is Friday, but I have to go back to Thursday really quick. So after I recorded audio, Monica and I talked about how we were going to schedule Friday because we had so many things that we had to do aside from just like clean the house for Monica's appointment because like we didn't get enough of that done the day before. We also had to hit Vaughn's. And also what we were going to do if Monica's appointment ran into the book fair. After that, I told her I was pretty much ready for bed, but she told me she still had to talk to herself for a little bit, which initially, like, didn't feel like a good sign, but like, I let her talk to herself while I actually prepared for bed, and by the time I came to lay down to go to sleep, she put up no fight in actually going to sleep. So I guess it was enough time for her to like finish talking to herself. I don't really know. It was so fucking hot. We had a shit time falling asleep. We ended up taking off the old blanket, the thick old blanket, and just sleeping with the new thin one, which makes me so glad we got a thin blanket. So like, out of curiosity, I checked the weather, and apparently it was 101 degrees, and like, if I had known, I probably wouldn't have suggested going out. Oh my god, 101 degrees. It made me kind of like nervous about what Friday's temperature was gonna be. So yeah, I ended up waking up I'm gonna say like either 2 hours or 1 hour. All I know is that I woke up a while before the alarm went off, and I spent the whole time just laying there thinking. So I got up, I turned on the fairy lights, I even played some music, and we ate a light breakfast. We took a shower, and I got out at 4:40, and I got to work on coloring. I also unloaded my phone, and I did everything on the 2 pages except for the flowers. And I also managed to complete 1 audio file. And so the whole time I was doing that, Monica took a shower, and then she eventually got off, and then she swept the floor, and she finished cleaning I did a little bit of cleaning too. The island, she finished cleaning the island completely. So yeah. After that, I got off and we got ready to leave for Vaughn's. It was sometime around like 5:40. The air outside was super warm. It was like crazy warm. I was like, what the fuck is this? I feel like summer came way too early. Alright, so we arrived at Vaughn's at 6:03. We got a decent amount of groceries, and on the way home, we thought we saw a cat up ahead, but it hopped away. It was a rabbit. It really surprised us. We didn't expect to see. It was a grayish black bunny. I think that their spiritual meaning is good wealth for, oh no, I think it was like love, family, and finances. I'll take finances. Finances is great. Let's go with that. So yeah. So we ate the rest of breakfast when we got home, and then I went back to work at 7. I completed the art for page 13 at 8:38, and then Monica passed me back pages 15 and 16 at 8:40. My 9 a.m. alarm went off right when I was finishing the last audio file, so I got off to go compress my video. I was ready to start line arting, but like I was also extremely tired. So the most I ended up doing was I compressed my video. I finished cleaning up my area, which is typically where the guest usually sits. Monica helped me out with that a little bit, and she proposed just resting our heads for a bit until the lady showed up. It took forever for Monica to like finally stop cleaning things. She eventually joined me, and we just laid there. I had my alarm set for 10 o'clock exactly, so Monica called to make sure she was coming, and she was. She arrived at like 10:35, so I spent the entire half an hour before the book fair just like line arting. I only managed to do 2 panels out of the 6 panels I have to do for the end of the chapter, and like once my 11 o'clock alarm sounded, I was like, I'm ready to leave. So I got ready to go to the book fair, and Monica's appointment lasted up until like 10:30. So like I told her, I'm just gonna go without you. It was exactly what I was expecting. Majority of I'm going to say best books were gone, because there wasn't very much inspiring to get. Like a lot of the books that were still there were all the like World War II, disparaging Cold War kind of like era, like stories of real people trying to survive like the worst things that could happen in life. And I'm like, oh, this is not fun. So yeah. I did find a few books I was interested in, but like I didn't end up getting them. I brought my debit card, but I didn't bring any cash, and we saved cash specifically for the book fair. She ended up not joining me for two reasons. One being I took both the keys when I left, so she wouldn't have had any ability to close the door if she had left. And second off, the sewing machine showed up. Okay, so about the sewing machine, at 5 o'clock this morning, I received a text message from FedEx saying that I had to not only sign for this package, I had to show them my ID. By the time that I actually saw the sewing machine, it was when I was stepping out to go to the book fair. The box was just randomly there. So I had to pick it up and bring it in the middle of Monica's appointment. So that's why when the lady left, the first thing Monica did was bust open the sewing machine. So it looks good. I don't know when we're gonna have a moment to just like take a crack at it, but like I'm glad that it's here, so now I can finally change my vision board wallpaper to something else, because I've had that sewing machine on the wallpaper for a couple of months now. It's been kind of irritating. So yeah. All right, so I ended up getting back sometime around like 11, like I'm gonna say 11:40, 11:50, around then. I ended up going back on the computer to color. She ended up sitting and watching things with me while I was coloring, and then we stopped a couple of times to eat. So we ate like lunch part 1, lunch part 2. So lunch part 1 was chicken, lunch part 2 was salad. So I finally finished the arc of page 14 at 1:23, and then I completed and loaded pages 13 and 14 with text to the Weebly, and I updated Patreon at like 2:25. After that, we took a break. We tried to walk around the living room for an hour. We didn't make it like 15 minutes before her eyes started malfunctioning. So I was like, okay, let's just kick this in the butt. She had just barely taken her medication like a few minutes before we started walking. So I told her to lay down, and we spent the rest of the time just laying down talking about crap. So yeah, it's 4 something right now. Is it 4? What is it? It's 4:05 right now, so I'm recording audio. This is what I need to do. I need to start pages 15 and 16. I need to finish the liner for pages 18 and 19. Because like all I can give her right now is page 17, and I don't want to do that. I want to give her 17, 18, 19 together. But I haven't really like worked on it since this morning. So I'm thinking maybe if I can't get any sleep tonight, I should probably at least do a little bit of line arting. I mean, like I'm tired, but I don't think I'm so tired that I can't. I don't know, we'll have to see. Other than that, the whole time while we were hassling with preparing for the appointment and everything, I managed to finish my YouTube video. It was done before I left for the book fair, and I completely forgot about it when we were watching videos together. I need to take it off of the cartridge so I can load it. I need to remember to do that tomorrow. I need to actually like write it down to do that tomorrow. Alrighty then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Saturday, but I have to go back to Friday really quick. So after I recorded audio, I ended up finishing the very last 2 pages of the comic at 5:07. I was so exasperated by finishing these last 2 pages. I told Monica, and she wanted to look at them, and we were just like sitting there like staring at these last 2 pages of the project that we've been working on since late 2017. It was just like, it was something else. I can't even like describe it. But yeah, we tried to go to sleep. We couldn't because it was too fucking damn hot. I was curious, so I checked the weather. The hottest it had been was like 102 degrees.
So we ended up agreeing to just go back on the computer. It was like 7. I ended up scanning and assembling the pages. We tried to watch the first episode of Fanfare of Adolescence, but like, oh my god, as much as I wanted a series about horseback riding, they could not get over this guy being an idol. And that got irritating, like, extremely fast. We actually started, like, skipping through the episode because we just could not stand, like, this obsession about this guy giving up his idol career to become a jockey. And it was just like, ugh, make it stop. So, she told me to just turn it off, but when I tried to turn off the video, my entire computer just blacked out and started over. And so she was like, forget this, I'm gonna go back to bed. So I had to wait for my computer to get itself back together, and then I finished assembling the pages. In fact, I actually lost some of the work that I did on them when I was editing them. It only saved like a little bit of what I did. And I ended up assembling and passing the pages off to her while I was also uploading my video to YouTube. So she got the pages at like 7:46. And I ended up getting off the computer officially at 8, and I went to bed. I slept up until like 3:30. My 4 a.m. alarm went off, and Monica did not move, so I ended up setting it to 5. And then I got up and I ate the last of the cereal box. After I ate it, I ended up walking around listening to music for 30 minutes at like 4:57. And then I turned on the fairy lights and I started playing jazz music to encourage her to get out of bed. So yeah, the reason why I didn't push her to get out of bed so early is because we were planning on hitting the Ball Walmart, and like it doesn't open up until 6, so it didn't really matter to me if she got up at 4, honestly. So yeah, so she started getting dressed to leave after that. We ended up leaving the complex at like 5:20. And on the way to the Walmart, I ended up getting a bunch of bottles and cans. I even found some extra dimes. We arrived at the Walmart at 6. The bathrooms were finally fixed so we could use them. I wanted to get a celebratory cake for the end of the series, but they didn't have anything for that because they're still in the process of remodeling the store and moving everything around. So all the cakes must have been like, I don't know, like in storage somewhere else. There was no cake whatsoever, so I was like, okay, forget this. So the only thing we ended up getting aside from the celery that she wanted to get was she wanted to get turkey again, so we got a couple of turkey units, just 2. She wasn't sure how much money she had on her to buy it. So we got home sometime around like 7. She made breakfast. I went back on the computer. We ate and we watched a bit of YouTube together. And then we split up to do our pages. So I managed to get through. I think I just got through the skin. I remember how much I got through. I mean, I think I stopped like at Gin's hair. By the time I was done with everything I was working on. And I still had to do everybody else. And she's been working on the hair layers for every single page I gave her, so she's gonna be at this for a long while. So yeah, I took a break at 9, and she joined me, and we decided to hit Target. The reason why we hit Target was because I told her not this Sunday, but next Sunday. Next Sunday is supposed to be Easter. That means that everything that's on sale is gonna go fast. So if she wants to get any more Dove bunnies, she has to do it now before they're gone. So when we showed up, they only had 2. They were the last 2 we got them. As for that, we finally got a chance to actually look through the stationery section. Again, they didn't have anything that we didn't already see at the other place, and nothing that she wanted, so we just left that. And then we went to the toy section, and there was a couple of new things. They haven't had Barbie clothes in a while, but they actually had some this time. Only like a couple of the packs that they had I've seen on clearance at Walmart. Other than the other ones I hadn't seen before, and I was really excited about getting them. So I got 2 packs of, like, I think it's like 2 outfits. in 2 packs, and then one single outfit pack. And like what I think is so interesting of what they're doing with the actual, the way that they're setting up these packages now is that they come in Ziploc bags, so you can reuse them for later. And on top of that, the actual hook that goes onto the stand can come off and be an actual hanger. That's cool. In order for me to actually get to do that, I actually had to use the scissors to actually, yank it off. But like, oh my god, it's actually a really good idea. I'm so glad they thought of this. This is genius. So yeah, basically the money, or at least half the money I got from selling Phaedra and Carmen's stuff went into dressing my dolls, basically. So yeah. What else did we get? Did we get anything else besides that? I think we got some food. I feel like I remember getting food. What did we get? No, I think that was basically it. I can't remember. Okay, so, the moment we got home, I ended up putting every single outfit on my dolls except for this one outfit, because it just didn't work with the dolls that I have. It was, I guess it might look good on Phaedra, but like I don't have another doll to put it on, and I played with the idea of possibly either fishing out my what's it called, my Mulan or my Apple, and changing their clothes, because they are wearing clothes from a doll line. I can't remember what it was called anymore. I want to say Cuckoo Harajuku, but I'm not 100% sure. I feel like I'm saying that just because it came to my mind. I'm not even sure. But like, there was a doll line that had clothing. I picked up 2 outfits from it before it completely like phased out. And they're both wearing clothing from that line, that doll line. I don't really remember like... And at the same time, the reason why I never used those clothes on my Rainbow Highs is because those dolls were actually really thin. And, like, these clothes are actually extremely pink, too. Like, pink, uncharacteristically pink, that wouldn't match any of my Rainbow High dolls. So, like, yeah, I just play with the idea of putting it on Apple or whatever. I mean, it might look good. It might be a little too wide. If anything, it would probably fit one of my Disney princesses, since they're around the same size as Mattel dolls. So I could try one of them instead, but like I'm not as in love with the outfit. In fact, I'm thinking about possibly putting it back in a Ziploc bag for now, because I have nothing to do with it right now, so I have to decide. So Monica ended up laying down to relax, and since I had nothing else to do until I could go back on to work, I ended up like coming back and laying down and just rereading through my last fanfic. The 2 fanfics I'm trying to complete, I'm talking about the most recent one, not the one from like 2019, the one from 2020 to 2021, that one. So I reread everything I last wrote in it, and I didn't get to finish it before I had to go back on. I had to go back on at like 11 and resume coloring. Monica also joined me, and I got super sidetracked updating my wallpaper since my my sewing machine is finally here. I wanted to remove it from my vision board wallpaper for my desktop, and I was trying to think of what to replace it with. So for the sewing machine, I just moved the picture of the Ever over one. For where the Ever was, I put in pictures of the 2 fanfics that I'm trying to finish, the main characters. I ended up posting the picture of the male main character for the last fanfic, even though that I'm technically in his girlfriend's point of view, so I really should have made her the icon, but I don't have any good pictures of her right now. I would have to go back through my my collection just to get like a good picture of her. Aside from that, I ended up getting rid of a photo I usually use as an example of the types of clothes I want to sew. I got rid of that, and I just started making a list of all the characters we want to do the cosplays of. So Monica wants to do Sakura Haruno. I want to do Yomu Kampaku. And we agreed to do Love is War Miku and Kaito Saint Tail. So I spent the majority of that time trying to find a good picture of Kaito Saint Tail. Oh my god, it's so hard. Like, some of the best people who've drawn her only have drawn the anime version. I fucking hate that version. They basically tried to take a girl who did not really require all the trappings of a magical girl, and they forced all those magical girl aspects onto her. So she has this stupid emblem on her bow, which she didn't need. She didn't originally have it. And then her wand is not just a generic magic wand. It's a queen scepter when you fucking look at it. And I hate it. I also hate that they changed her outfit from black to like burgundy or something, like a really, really dark red. And it just makes me so angry when I see her, because like it's not Saint Tail, and I don't like it. It makes me really angry. So I ended up saving what few pictures I could of her just in her manga version form, and I ended up just like having to go with this one picture where she's like descending on her balloon, because she has this balloon that she travels with. It's so cute. And like, that was a picture I was going to use for that, but I genuinely feel at this point I might as well just like draw a picture of her for my wallpaper myself, because I couldn't find a picture I liked, and there was nothing else for me to do. So I figured I might as well just draw. I don't have anything to draw right now. So yeah, okay, so at sometime around like 12, Monica came to me from the restroom and she said we had ants. The way she said it, she made it sound like we had an ant line just cutting through the house. That's how it sounded. But what she really meant was she found 2 ants. One ant was crawling on her when she was sitting at the desk, and then the other ant she found in the bathroom. So we think because the temperature's really, really hot, the ants are probably coming in. It's either that or I accidentally brought ants in when I picked up some of those bottles this morning. I don't really know if the ant thing is going to get worse. We are being weary of it though. So yeah, she like proposed going and getting Subway. And I know the only reason why she's proposing this is because like we got coupons. Finally. It took like months for us to get Subway coupons again. And she wanted to get like the 2-for-1 special. So like I let her go do that. In fact, before she left, I told her, take your medication because you might have trouble coming home. So she did, and she managed to come home just fine, but I don't know if it's just that she got lucky or the medication actually helped. So yeah, we ended up eating at like sometime between 12:50 and 1 o'clock. We watched the first episode of Spy Family. Really interested in seeing where that goes. Oh my god, his relationship with that kid. When I first heard of the series, I thought that the couple got assigned to each other and then they got assigned the child. I didn't realize that he grabbed a random kid that happened to be psychic, and then they're gonna recruit a woman to be her mother. I'm like, okay, I guess that makes sense, but like the other way makes sense too. I'm like, okay, fine. So yeah. So after we were done with that, we both got off. She rested and she fell asleep, and I continued reading my last fanfic up until where I left off. And I actually continued writing. So I wrote I think 2 pages, and then my head started hurting. So after that, I knew I absolutely needed to stop, so I did. So she slept until 3:50, and she went back on to color because she was just antsy enough to go do that. I'm like, I'm gonna go join her, but I just wanted to record to get this out of the way. So I didn't have to worry about it later. So, is there anything on my mind? Not that I could think of. I'm glad that I finally have clothes for my Rainbow High dolls. I feel like I can actually interact with them now, because before I didn't want to because they were wearing scrunchies and it made them difficult to hold. But I have to admit, even in these clothes, they still feel a little wonky to hold. I don't really feel what's her name? Phaedra has the same range of motion in her hands the way the other dolls do, but What can I do about it? I need to get them some shoes. At least for now, I don't have to worry about them having shoes that go flying off their feet. I really wish that they would just come out with fashion packs for that. I mean, they used to come out with fashion packs for brats, and like they haven't really done that for Rainbow High. They just come up with, okay, the doll comes with a second outfit and that's it. And then if you want extra clothes, you get these closet sets. And I'm like, I don't know if I want that. I'll see what I can scrounge up on the internet though. And other than that, I'm just like, I'm trying to be cool about the whole situation around the pages. I knew I wasn't going to get this shit done today, but like I would have gotten much farther if I hadn't gotten sidetracked. So we'll see how far I can get. I'm up to the clothing layer of each page, so we'll have to see like where I am when I get off later. Is there anything else that's on my mind? The only other thing that's happening next week is that Monica has a second appointment with that lady again. And that's on Friday, I believe. So we don't have to worry about that for a while. But we mostly don't have anything planned aside from trying to finish this series. I need to get these last few pages done before the finale comes out. Oh my god. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, I guess that's virtually it. Alrighty then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Sunday, but I have to go back to Saturday really quick. So after I recorded audio, Monica ended up joining me at the computers. I colored up until like 5:20, and we both got really tired, and we decided to get off and go to bed. I ended up sleeping up until like between 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. I ended up watching a couple of doll videos before the 4 o'clock alarm went off. The one video that got me the most excited was everything that's coming up for the Nananas. They're planning on doing a birthstone line for them. I'm like, it's 12 dolls. Oh my fucking god. For my sake, I hope I don't want any of them. But like the new teen line is going to have a peacock and a swan, and granted that they make the outfits look good, I might actually want to get them. The only two teens that actually caught my eye were the flamingo and the owl, and the owl isn't really all that well done, honestly. So yeah. Okay, so I tried to get Monica to get out of bed at 4, but she didn't want to. She told me to just go back to work, so I did. I ended up working up until like technically I stopped working at 5:33, but I didn't end up getting off until 6, honestly, because like I completed the artwork for the pages at 5:33, and I was way too tired to do the text, so I ended up just getting off at 6. I kicked Monica out of bed, we ate breakfast, and we got dressed to go for a walk. We stepped out at like 6:48, and we walked to this park by this school over here really close to Albertsons. I think Monica called it Boysenberry Park, and there was like pretty much nobody there. I collected a ton of bottles and cans. I'm surprised I didn't find very much for change though. On the way home, we realized that the jacaranda trees down the street are starting to not only bloom, but they're starting to lose their flowers. And this actually made us like excited, because like we didn't really learn to like really like the jacaranda trees until I think it was a couple of years ago, during a time that we used to go to get water midday. We don't do much to get anything midday anymore, but like back when we used to get water from Albertsons midday, we used to see like all the purple flowers and everything, just making like pools of purple flowers underneath the trees, similarly to how the Japanese celebrate spring with sakura flowers. We decided to celebrate spring with the jacaranda flowers. So we got back at 8, and I resumed working on the pages. I ended up finishing and loading the pages with the text to Weebly at like 9:24. Monica passed me 2 of the 3 pages she was working on, so I got a little bit of that started, but I ended up getting off at like 9:30. She ended up joining me. So we crushed bottles together, we ate brunch, and we walked for 40 minutes. We tried to go for the full hour, but we got really tired, and so we laid down and we both crashed. At 11:30 we went back to work. She finished and passed me back page 17. That's the last page that she was working on, at like 12:50, and then she got off at 1 to make salad. So I ended up coloring up until like 1:20, and then we ate salad, watched a bit of YouTube, and then my alarm went off. So I got off a little bit after my alarm. So it was like 1:46. So she ended up making the berry blend, and then we did a smidge of writing together, and then we ended up laying down. I was hoping to fall asleep, but my brain was just way too active. So what I ended up doing was getting up at like 3:50 and turning on the internet. So the internet is heating up right now. I thought I might as well just record and get that out of the way. So, so far I have like the skin and some of the hair layers done for some of the pages, but I want to go back to page 17 and start the skin layer for that because I never got it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish tomorrow. My hope is that I can, but I really don't know. She's not working on anything anymore, so she's just gonna do whatever she wants to do. I have to figure out how to gauge my my workflow tomorrow, since I'm gonna be the only one still working on the comic. But like, if I'm lucky, I'm gonna get this thing done tomorrow. And like, I don't really know if it's possible. I'm really hoping, but like, worst case scenario, I'm probably gonna be finishing it, like, if not on Tuesday, then Wednesday. I don't know. All I know is that I really want to get this thing done before the finale goes up on Thursday, and I'm hoping I can, just as long as I don't get too sidetracked. So, is there anything else I need to mention? No, I guess that's virtually it. Alrighty then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one.
Alrighty, it is Monday, but I have to go back to Sunday really quick. So after I recorded audio, I ended up coloring up until 5:20, and then Monica got off with me, and we got ready for bed. She ended up cutting my nails, and we talked about possibly going to visit the Fullerton Joann's, because like, she finally noticed that it was on the map, and I noticed it was there too, but I couldn't figure out how to get there, and it seems like the only way to get there is to take the 26, and I don't know how to get onto the 26. I mean, I have a general idea, but like, I think that plaza out there is where the 26 stops. So like, I don't know when she's gonna want to do that, but like, we're planning on possibly checking it out sometime. She just wants to go to a different Joann's that's not like the ones we typically go to. It's still really far away though compared to the other ones. I mean, all of them are very far away. They're all like an inconvenience distance from us, but she feels like it's still closer compared to the others. So yeah. So I slept up until like between 2 or 3. I don't really know. All I know is that by the time I could actually be fucked to pick up my phone and check, I only had 1 minute until the alarm went off. So, yeah, I talked to Monica. She did not want to get out of bed. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to go on. I'm going to do some coloring. So I ended up coloring up until 5, and then I came back and I kicked her out of bed, and we hit Vaughn's. So we took the bikes, and we ended up arriving like 20 minutes before it was supposed to open. So we ended up just wandering around the parking lot. I only managed to find 1 penny. It was extremely dark. I probably would have found more if it was a little brighter. So yeah, it was fairly cold. There was moments of like, there'd be like moments of these brisk blusters of wind, and like, she didn't feel most of them, but I did, and I was fucking cold. We got some food, and we arrived home at 6:30, and we ended up making a celebratory pizza to celebrate at least her being off the comic. I'm still working on it, so yeah. So I went back on at 7. The pizza was served at 7:20, so I stopped coloring to eat that, and then we watched YouTube together. I got off at 9:50, and we hit the plaza over here. We checked out, in this order, Pick and Say, the Ross, the Five Below, the 99, and then the Target. It was when we were in the Target that she started malfunctioning, and she ended up like struggling with her characters for like the rest of the day. I mean, they were talking nonsensically to her, and like it just made me worry because like her hallucinations are getting kind of uncontrollable, and I don't like that. I guess it means that she's going to relapse, but I don't really know. When we got home, I made her take her medication and lie down, and then I went back on the computer at 11:20, and I worked up until like, oh no, it was like almost 1. She decided to eventually get up and make salad when she was feeling somewhat better, but she was still mumbling to herself, and she served us salad at like 1:05. We watched a few videos together, and then I got off at 1:18. We tried to walk and talk, but she started malfunctioning again. She couldn't like look at what she was doing. I forced her to lay down so her eyes could correct, and then we just spent the rest of the half an hour just doing leg lifts instead of, because we couldn't really walk, so we just did some leg lifts as an alternative. So I talked to her. I was like, okay, you're off the comic now. You should book an appointment with the UCI. They sent her a message like I think a month ago telling her to make an appointment with them because they hadn't seen her in a year. And I was like, you need to do another MRI because I'm worried that the thing that's messing you up is probably something worse going on in your brain. And if it's not that, then we're gonna have to figure out what other medication you can take, because like I cannot stand the fact that I can't do anything with her for like only like half the day. And the worst part is most stores don't open up until between like 10 and 11. So like it makes me feel like we can't enjoy going to places and doing things as long as she's having this problem. I mean, I'm just trying not to get mad about it. So at 2, she made an appointment with them. They're going to see her on the 20th. So we're going to go there later. As soon as she was done making the appointment, she's now scheduling Veo to pick us up for not only that appointment, but her next CCS appointment, which is the day after. So I really hate to like put all this pressure on her, but like I really want her to be well, and I don't know what else we need to do to like get back some sort of normal, because like it's just not working. It's really not working, and it's frustrating. So yeah, other than that, so this is where I am with the pages. The artwork for all 3 pages is done. I just need to add the text. And like I am so tired. Right now, like I said, it's 2, so I have to go back on either at 3 or 4 and then see how far I can get with the text. It's not too much text, but like it's the last 3 pages. It's probably gonna take a while. I feel like I don't want to go to sleep until those pages are done. The only other thing that I did was like after I was done doing the art for the pages, because I knew I didn't have very much time left on the alarm, I spent the last of the half an hour I had starting to groom through my old scan folder, because I have a lot of scans for this series and I want to just flood my Patreon with it, of all the deleted sketches that I saved, because I saved a whole bunch of sketches that I liked, and like I would really want people to see them because they're actually quite nice. So I don't know how many days worth of sketches it's going to be. I can't decide if I want to queue 3 sketches a week or if I want to queue like 2 sketches a week just to make it longer. But like if I can get it to run through the month of May, then I can justify having like 1 more month of Patreon. Other than that, I feel like if I can't come up with an alternative of what to do with my Patreon, I have to shut it down, because like I'm thinking about doing that either in June or July, depending on what I can do in the meanwhile, because I need some time to just relax. So I'm just gonna like try to queue as much as I possibly can to the Patreon, finish updating the website, because like I'm not done with it. The Hurricane Brigade page is only half completed, but it's more complete than it was like a couple of months ago. And I need to, what else is there? I don't know if I want to update the Pinterest. It kind of feels like a waste of time. Other than that, I just feel like, what else is there? I'm like, if I can think of something else to do with my Patreon, I'm probably going to post up, and this is the only thing I've been thinking about lately, I haven't actually thought of any alternatives, post up pictures of random OCs that I have nothing to do with. Because like I have some half stories where like there's some sort of storyline with it, but like mostly it's not a story that I actually sit down and try to write out, which is why I'm like, I feel like I should probably just post the character designs up so I can at least have something to show for myself. Like I said, up until like June or July. Other than that, I don't really know. So we'll have to see how much I can like squeeze out of my old scan folder. Some of the scans are just not worth sharing. So yeah. Is there anything else that's on my mind? I guess that's virtually it. I really can't think of anything else to say. I'm just glad I'm almost done. I'm just like, it feels like a lie. I'm like, I started this like late 2017, and because I thought I could do it, and for like the majority of like the first like 6 months, it was a total shit show because like we had such a shit time transitioning from what's it called, color to black and white. And like, oh my god, in the last like 2 months, we've been having a shit time transitioning from black and white to color. And I'm like, it's so, yeah. I look back at everything and I just feel like, what was the point of putting myself through all of this? I gained some skills as far as like time management, but that is basically all I got from this. And like even then, I pushed myself like way too hard. I try to push myself like I was still 20, and I really hurt myself because I'm 30 now and I can't pull the all-nighters that I used to be able to. And like, it makes me wish a little bit that I had spent most of my like young adulthood on something more like substantial, because I feel like all I ended up doing was just playing around in this like sandbox for a little bit, and like now I'm too old to be here, I have to leave. That's what I basically feel like. So I'm like, I don't really know what I should be doing now. I gotta find something. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, I guess that's virtually it. Alrighty then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one.
Alrighty, it is Tuesday, but I have to go back to Monday really quick. So after I recorded audio, I came back to the bedroom to find Monica still messing with Veo. She told me that the UCI tried to call her to confirm whether or not I could come with her into the building, because, you know, COVID restrictions. And she missed their call because they called in the middle of her Veo call. So she had to leave them a message to find out if I could come with her, and they didn't end up responding until like today. So yeah, after she was done messing with Veo and messing with the UCI, she was ready to just like go back to like relaxing or whatever. In between waiting for her to finish with everything, I updated my calendar, and then the two of us went back to my computer and I continued adding text to the pages, and she ended up watching through my entire like watch later list. So we got through all my sewing videos and a good chunk of the cooking videos I had all queued. So I have way less videos in my queue than before, thank God. Okay, so I finished and loaded the final 3 pages at 4:16, and then I ended up looking through my scan folders for everything I could possibly find to like queue to my Patreon. So I have a bunch of stuff that's going to come up this week, and then it's going to like slow down the following week. So I think I'm only going to post 3 times next week, I think. And then twice on the last week. So I am trying to decide if I am going to keep beefing that thing up, because like I could just like leave it and then pause Patreon for May, but I think I actually might have some things I've never scanned, because I have this one doodle of Flora and Fauna's family, and like I was hoping to make this a Smack Jeeves wallpaper, but I ended up deleting my Smack Jeeves. So I think I should at least like scan it and queue it to one of the groups. I don't really know what other artwork I had that's not scanned I can possibly add, but I wanted to see anyway, so we'll have to see. Other than that, we ended up getting tired, and I got off at like 5:18. I slept until 3, and I decided to just like turn off my alarm so she can get a full like morning of sleep. She ended up waking up sometime around 6. But I ended up going back on. I did most of the queuing then, and when I felt like everything was adequately queued, I ended up pulling out my external hard drive and moving shit. And in the process of trying to move specific things around, I fucked up and I accidentally lost half of certain files. So, like, this is bad because, like, some of the files I had belonged to a specific patron, and, like, it makes me upset because, like, I know I didn't get very far into her commission, and I lost, like, the last, like, what is it? It was page 8, page 9, and page 10. I don't remember if I went to page 12 with that one. I think I might have. Page 8, page 9, page 10. Maybe page 11 and 12 if I did, like, storyboard that far. But, like, everything past page 7 was gone. And I was like, oh my god. So, I've always been at odds of whether or not I was gonna finish this commission. Because, like, I just feel like I cannot, my body cannot do this anymore. I can't keep subjecting myself to making comics anymore. So I feel like this, like, issue of losing all these files, well, not all these, like a portion of these files, anything past page 7, it makes me feel like I absolutely have to do the refund thing, because, like, I was considering just going through with finishing it because I wasn't sure if I could gather enough money to do the refund, and I feel like I absolutely have to do the refund now because, like, I just can't, like, not only can I not do this, but, like, I don't even have the files for it. I do have the storyboard, so I could just redraw it, but, like, it just makes me feel like I'm so frustrated. I know that I really should just contact her about it, but I just feel like I think I'd be just better off if I just refund her for waiting for so long, and that would make my life a little bit easier. So, yeah, losing those pages, like, disturbed me for the rest of the morning, and I had a hard time enjoying my day because I just kept stopping, and I would have that moment of, like, I lost from pages 8 to the ending, and I just, like, so frustrating. One of the things I ended up moving was a folder that was originally called Art Projects, and I moved it from my laptop to Monica's laptop and then to the hard drive when we got it. So now it's off the hard drive and it's on my my computer, and I'm organizing through it. I need to, like, figure out how to make it more functionable because it's technically not, it's way too many folders. And, like, I feel like how I have my current folders right now, the ones on my computer, they're way more organized. So, like, I kind of feel like I need to figure out how to make it more like that. So the first thing I'm trying to do is to try to make everything I have currently match that, and then move everything so that way it's more like how I'm doing it now. And, like, I have so many, like, things together that's just, like, it's just so many different things that don't go anywhere, and I have to make everything go somewhere so I can feel more organized. And, like, I think that now I'm coming to the point where I really feel like I have to delete a lot of shit because, like, the last time I was looking at that crap, I was just like, what was I thinking when I saved this? Now I just feel like I think I can do a better artwork than some of the artwork I saved as references. So, yeah. That's relieving, but it's frustrating because that means I have to literally go through everything, and, like, it's going to take a long time because it's a lot of files. And I don't really want to get swamped with all this work, but I have to do something to make everything a little bit more uniform. So, yeah, Monica got up, like I said, at 6:12. She made breakfast. We ended up eating, and we watched a few things together, and then we ended up leaving to go to Fullerton. The bus was coming at, like, 7:20, I think it was 7:27. And, like, oh man, all the students got on the bus with us. It sucked so bad. So we ended up arriving at the Fullerton Target like a few minutes after it opened. We went to the stationery section. They only had one new book that we had not seen before. It had a whole bunch of bugs on it, and it was gilded. It was cute, but, like, if you like bugs, this book is for you. But we're not really big bug fans, so we just left it. The only thing we ended up getting was foam antibacterial soap. Because, like, the foam soap that we got for Christmas really got us into foamy soap. The scent for the soap was coconut water. And then we left to go to the Joann's in Fullerton. So we took the 43 to the Fullerton Transport Center, and then we took the 26 to the Joann's, and I can't believe how close like everything was to the art store. I mean, like, I never thought it was in walking distance, but oh my god, it was actually in walking distance. I was like, wow, we could have gone here like before, but we never thought to in the past. Which I just assumed it was really far away because like everything on these online maps make everything look far away. So yeah. At the Joann's, we ended up getting this cool ocean fabric. She wants to make yucatas for our boys out of it. And we got 2 bottles of foam soap. One was straight coconut, not coconut water, and the other one was vanilla. She's really excited for the vanilla one. And then afterward, we got some food at the Ralph's there, and then we walked to the Daiso, and we just got a bunch of shit at Daiso. I got some more stickers, some stickers I've seen before, but now I really want to get them. I also found a small, cheap pair of the trimming scissors, the scissors that look like they're a cross between a comb and a pair of scissors. And like, I'm so glad, because I knew that if I waited long enough, I could get one at a better deal, because like the other one that we saw was huge, and it was like what, $17? I can't remember, at the pet store. And like, I found this in the pet section, and I'm like, I'm hoping that it's a decent quality because it's Daiso, but I know it's going to be cheap because it's at a budget store. So what else was there? She also got some new bowls. What else did she get? I can't remember. And then we walked to Kohl's and we just wandered around for a little bit. So we ended up going home. We missed the 42 that had just barely left. So I was like, hey, do you want to go get some groceries at Vaughn's? So we did that for a little bit. And we ended up getting home at like 1:23, I believe. I ended up going back on the computer. I recalculated the budget. She watched a few things with me as we ate lunch, and then she got tired and she tried to go to sleep. We split up at like 1:56, and she told me she spent a little while just laying in bed talking to herself until she got bored, so she came back to join me at like 2:30. So what I was doing was I was trying to organize all the files that I moved. In some places I was successful, but in other places I'm like, I have way too much stuff, and like I keep finding things that make me feel like, God, why did I save that? And I'm just deleting it. Oh my God. I saved, it's not a lot, but I saved a few pictures of Kaleem and Jamil back when I thought that they had a very like brotherly relationship, and now that I know the storyline and I hate them together, I just feel like, wow, I really want to delete these pictures now. I'm so mad that I saved them. I mean, it happened to me with Token Rambu too, where I saved a whole bunch of pictures, and then I come back later and I'm like, oh God, this is Surumar, I fucking hate him. So yeah, it's really hard to be in a fandom, and just, oh God. So like, I worked up until like 4, and we took a shower. So she's still in the shower. This is what I need to do. When I'm on the computer, I just want to focus on fixing the folders. When I'm off the computer, I want to fix my entire like area, because I just have like these drawers full of paper. I need to go through all that stuff and like shred some of it. I tried shredding some of it earlier, but like I didn't really like make very much ground, and like I need to find anything revolving around the series, because now that I officially don't need it, I need to get rid of it. So if I find anything in those piles that need to be in the queue, I will scan them and add them. But for now, I just don't know if I have anything to add that's extra. I'm also planning on, like I said, posting up pictures of OCs that I have. I have storylines for them, but I just don't have the will to actually like do anything with those storylines. I'm gonna post up all those OCs afterward, and I need to be certain that this is like the timeline in which everything is posting up is adequate, because like I'm gonna keep changing it. So is there anything else that's on my mind? Other than that, I want to finish the fanfics that I have. I need to finish the new one that I started at the end of 2020. I need to finish the old one that I started in the middle of 2019. Like I said, the 2019 one, the racing storyline, that I actually have the entire ending planned out, whereas the one I started in 2020, I'm trying to find my way through it, because the one big thing the characters were aiming for is distantly in the future, and I don't care about time jumping to that subject anymore. So I'm just trying to like end where I am with the book, and I think I have if I break the whole book up into fours, I only have like 1/4 of the book to finish. So yeah. So if I finish anything this month, it's probably gonna be that. We are gonna go get water tomorrow. Monica we'll go to Albertsons, mostly because we want to see if the jacarandas have like grown out more, because like we did notice that there were jacaranda flowers on the floor, but like not enough to say that they've actually like bloomed yet. They typically bloom at the end of spring and the beginning of summer, so we just want to check up on them. I know it's like, we're going to go really early in the morning. They're probably not going to be like that exciting to see. Is there anything else that's on my mind? Oh yeah. Okay. So on the subject of making patterns for the dolls, I think I'm going to hold off on making stuff for the Disney princesses and the Rainbow High dolls until I can just like get the bodies, the actual, headless bodies off of eBay, to make it easier to make patterns for them, because when I tried to use Snow White to make patterns, it was so difficult, and like it's going to be super difficult to make patterns with the Rainbow High dolls because they all have massive amounts of hair, so this will be easier to just do a headless body. Monica wants to start with the Ellie dolls though, and I really want to start with the BJDs. So the first thing I want to make are dress shirts. But I also need to make a pattern for Sakura Haruno's, like, I guess we're doing her pre-Genin outfit, so she's not going to have the headband, she's not going to have the shuriken pouch thing for her leg, she's not going to have the little butt pouch, and she's not going to have, like, what else was there? I think that was it. I don't know what I'm going to do about the shoes, because I did find some sandals that would look great with her. The problem is they don't come in blue, they come in white. And I wanted these sandals because our doll, she has high heel feet, so she cannot have a flat foot like sandal. So I don't know, maybe I can like try to make something like this instead. I know that like Froggy has tutorials about how to make sandals and stuff for dolls. So that's going to be my agenda. First thing I'm going to do is go through all my stuff and reorganize shit. And then I'm going to focus on making patterns and stuff. So I'm hoping that going through all my shit is only going to take like barely a day, because I don't have a lot of stuff, but I'm an extremely messy person. Another thing I really want to get rid of, I have this cardboard, like this cardboard half box. It's supposed to be a display for objects in stores, and I covered it in all this wrapping paper, and I just throw lots of random crap in it, and like that crap doesn't do anything of value, and it's just there. So I really need to like go through this stuff and like just toss some of this crap. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, I guess that's virtually it. Alrighty then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Wednesday, but I have to go back to Tuesday really quick. So after I record audio, I did a little bit of brainstorming on my recorder, trying to figure out like what really I need to be doing right now, now that I'm free. I only recorded up until Monica got out of the shower, and then I asked her what she wanted to do. She ended up deciding to write, so I ended up coming over here to my drawers, and I just like destroyed everything. I was basically trying to sort out what I didn't need anymore because I finished the series. So I made a huge pile of things I need to shred. I also made a pile of things I found that I had not scanned yet, so I put that pile on the computer for the next day. I ended up with so much garbage.
Oh man. And like I'm so mad about how like useless all of my binders are. I just hoard things I don't want to see in them instead of using them to like stay organized, and that's a problem because the point of having them is so that way I can figure out like how to organize all the things I want to do. Honestly, the number one thing I really wish I was doing right now is writing, but like I can't like get to being creative until all my like functioning workspace is actually like adequate, and like a lot of my workspace is just like, and the worst part is I want a new bookshelf, and like I don't want to insert these drawers with all this garbage inside them and just not be doing anything productive. So I'm like, I'm really mad about the setup. Once I was done, even though I threw away a whole bunch of crap, like I still felt more disorganized. So I have to go back through that stuff and like try to figure out how to actually like mindfully store everything, because I have so many pockets, like those pockets, protector sleeves for things. I am drowning in those fucking things, and like it actually makes me angry because I'm not adequately using any of them, and I'm like, try not to be mad. Okay, so I think that's probably one of the first things I need to do. I haven't done it today yet. I'm way too tired. Okay, so I ended up stopping sometime around 6 to eat dinner with Monica, and then we went to bed sometime around 7. It was probably like early 6 that we ate dinner, and then late 7 that we went to sleep. I don't really know how long it took me to fall asleep. All I know is that by the time I woke up, it was sometime around 3, but I didn't end up getting out of bed until 4. So I ended up scanning everything that I found that was actually worth putting on the Patreon. And then I edited through all those scans. Second to that, I was also organizing through my files. My desktop folders are suffering from the same thing my real life workspace is suffering from, which is I have a lot of shit, and I'm trying to figure out how to adequately like move everything around so that way I can access it in a clear, mindful way. But there's so many files, and they barely have anything to do with what they're doing, so I'm like, I'm mad at myself for letting it get this bad. I haven't been maintaining any of these folders since, like, I'm gonna say either 2017 or 2018. And, like, that's why I have all this, like, nonsensical garbage everywhere. So, like, I'm trying not to be mad at myself, but, like, I feel like at the speed that I'm clearing everything up, I'm gonna be done with it by, like, in 6 months, I'll probably have everything adequately cleared. But, like, I'm trying not to be mad. One of the other things I tried to do that morning also was see if it was possible to find if the files that I lost yesterday ended up in some type of temporary folder. I searched my my computer for the names of the files, and like none of them turned up. So I think I genuinely lost from like page 8 and forward, and like it was a cross between like I was still mad about the whole situation, but at the same time it gave me some kind of closure. Like, you know, I have so many things I'm doing right now. I just can't win. I can't win everything, and I have to just take what I get. So yeah, I'm so mad at myself. So I wish that had never happened yesterday. Okay, so the 6 o'clock alarm woke Monica up, so she got up. We didn't bother eating breakfast. I just got off the computer at like 6:11, and we left for Albertsons to go get water. In the process, we saw that like one of the jacaranda trees down that street that we usually go down, it's actually turning purple, whereas most of the other ones are still kind of bare. So I think by the end of May, maybe we'll probably see something with that. I don't know. I really want to film that this year. Other than that, while we were at Albertsons, we ended up getting a second bottle of Italian soda. Yesterday we were only able to get the pomegranate one from Vaughn's. They didn't have the blood orange, so we had to go to Albertsons to get the blood orange one. We ended up getting back sometime around 7:30. We ate breakfast, and then we left at 8:30 for the Euclid Target. I don't even know what to say about going to the Euclid Target. The only thing we ended up getting was this new set of G2 colored pens. I think some of these colors are from the new mega pack that has like all, even the highlighter pens in it. I don't know what colors they are. I have like a sinking feeling of what colors they might be, and I might use the red one a lot because like Monica has a other gel pen that's kind of the same color. In order for me to actually use that pen, I keep having to boil it, and I'm hoping if this G2 is the same color as that pen, then I'm gonna use the G2 more. I don't know, I have to see. Other than that, what else did we see there? They didn't have any books that we haven't seen before. After that, we took the Euclid bus, I think it's the was it 37? I think that's what it was. I don't remember. We took that bus to Catella, and the first thing we saw was that the Market Walmart that was there is closed, and I have no idea why. I'm just gonna assume that they tried to compete against Food for Less and like failed. I mean, a Market Walmart could not outsell a Food for Less. That's amazing. So since the Market Walmart wasn't there, we didn't bother going to the Dollar Tree. We just visited Big Lots, DD's Discounts, and then we went to the Food for Less. So did I see anything there that was worth mentioning? Not really. Some things were interesting. Most of the time, the dolls there are just like, they're just budget dolls and they look like shit. We ended up getting food at Food for Less. It was so like nostalgic to be back at a Food for Less. We haven't shopped at one in a while. And then we went across the street and got Subway. So by the time that we got back, it was like 11:36. We ate lunch and we watched YouTube. I was on for a very long time. I got on the moment that we got home, and I just got off right now at like 3:10. So this is basically what I did. I spent most of that time just moving around files. I officially added the edited scans that I did this morning to my Patreon queue. I added them to pre-existing posts that were queued, and then made a couple of new posts to be queued. And so my buffer goes up until like the end of the first week of May. I need more stuff. I need at least like 7 more posts after that. I can't think of what I'm gonna do right now, but I have a couple of weeks to think about it. So I also try to sort my folders. I spent most of the time just trying to sort the fucking folders. Every time I felt like I was done sorting it out, I ended up in a situation where I had more junk, and I just like, I need to go back through those folders and get rid of some of the crap in there, because like I'm not in love with all the stuff that I saved, like I said yesterday. And then the last thing I did was I started making new emails for the new accounts that I wanted to do. Like for example, I already have a doll Twitter. I was using one of my old email addresses for it, and I finally made an email address for the doll Twitter that's the same name as it, and all of my doll stuff is going to go there. So I have started moving all the doll Twitter accounts that I'm following to that account, and like in the process I realized, damn, I have so many accounts that I'm following that I have to move to either that account or my next account, because like I don't remember if I mentioned this, but I am planning on deleting my Twitter. I'm just like waiting on it. I'm waiting on it because I have to move everything first, but like I'm definitely planning on deleting my Twitter. I really wish I can do more and like delete my Tumblr and my Patreon and everything, and my Tapas, but like I just feel like I need to leave some of those things up, because like people keep referencing those URLs, and so it makes me feel like if I delete this, it would probably have to be like in like 5 years or like 10 more years before I actually feel like it makes sense to just delete it. But yeah, I don't know, I have to think about that. So yeah, other than that, I feel like I don't have any use for the Twitter anymore, and like once I'm done with this specific video, I'm definitely gonna delete it. Which, by the way, if you don't remember me mentioning this earlier, I actually don't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but like I'm planning on stopping like recording and publishing videos on this account. So this is gonna be the last video that you see. And it's not like anything bad is happening. It's just that I just just feel like I need one less thing to work on while I'm trying to figure out how to start the next things I need to do. And I feel like constantly investing time into, especially for this YouTube channel, has always made me feel like, oh great, I have to like inconvenience myself to do this one thing. And like I don't really want to look at it like that. I want to look at YouTube like it's actually a fun place to post. And like, because this channel has always been secondary to the main things I've been doing, I kind of see it more as a hindrance. So like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this channel in the future. All I know is that I would rather like stop updating this personal blog so I can just focus on like not having anything extra distracting me. And once I get these last 6 audio files edited and I post up this last post, and I'm just gonna like go whole hog into that. So I feel kind of like liberated. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so yeah, Monica and I ended up splitting up after we ate lunch and we watched YouTube. I don't know what she did. I assume she must have wrote, or maybe she must have relaxed or something. I don't really know what she did. All I know is that she came back and joined me sometime around like 2:30. So this is why I got off sometime around like 3:10. So I don't know what I want to tackle right now. All I know is that like, my computer needs to rest because I've been on since 11. So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's about like 4 hours. I should not have done that. Okay, so I guess I should probably either A, try to tackle the drawers, or B, go back to writing that fanfic, because I haven't touched it in like 2 days. So I feel like maybe I should try to make some ground with it, because I really want to finish that, the newer of the 2 fanfics. I really want to finish it. I don't have that much paper left over. I really need to do it. So yeah, is there anything else that's on my mind? No, I guess that's virtually it. Goodbye.